Yo, what's going on? My name's Joe Nathan. What? Oh no, I didn't turn the camera on. I knew I was forgetting something. There we go. This should work. Anyways, what's up? What's up, everybody? It is episode 123, and I still haven't figured out how cameras work. What's up? It's Wednesday. I'm John. That's me. I'm here. And we got some stuff to talk about today because there is a little thing called Cinemacon going on. It's I might be misspeaking here, but it seems like it's not as people aren't as aware of Cinemacon seemingly as they are of like Comic-Con or things like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but there's a lot of stuff going on. But before we get into it, don't forget to check out wilddinosaur.com right up here. wilddinosaur.com. That's my website because I'm Wild Dinosaur. That's my artist moniker. And I make stuff. I make digital art. I make videos. I make music production, all kinds of stuff like that. And that's where I post. That's where I post a lot of it. There's a merch store. You can get some cool merch stuff. Let's look at that real quick. Let's see what the website looks like. Website looks a little like this. This is wilddinosaur.com. So you can see there's some links there to stuff. This is the merch store. There's a lot of great designs there on some really high quality clothing products. What's up, Chris? Yeah, so check out wilddinosaur.com. There's cool stuff there for purchase. Look, I'm trying to finish up a directing certificate this year, and I only have a couple classes left, and I need to sell some merch to finish up taking those classes. So consider buying a tote bag, a sweatshirt, t-shirt. There's socks there. I don't advertise the socks very much. There's only a couple of them. And there's stickers and stuff. And I'm going to be doing some... whoops, that's not the right one. That's the one. Man, I'm all over it. I'm all over it today. Not turning cameras on. What's the requirement for what? The directing certificate that I'm doing? Or going to the website? Because going to the website is all you need to do. wilddinosaur.com. There's socks there. There are socks. I'm gonna be the New Pants 2 record cover that I did was the first thing that I had as a framed print, and there's gonna be, I think, some more framed prints coming soon, different designs, and I'm gonna try to add mugs. There's some good colored mugs. The directing he plugged with my I did plug with your comment. You gave me a wide berth there. Wide berth. That's what. That's maybe my next record. It's called Wide Berth. The requirements for the directing certificate is I'm doing it through the UCLA extension, and the requirements are an application fee of $200, and that's it. Basically you pay $200 and you'll get in. I mean, the program is ongoing. Let's see. I actually would consider doing other certificate programs through UCLA. They have some other good ones in the entertainment. There's photography, cinematography, there's business management, stuff like that. There's a bunch of really good certificate programs. The directing one in the entertainment one was one of the not harder, but there was the most amount of credits to do in that one. And I only have like 3 classes left. And 2 of them are workshop classes. There's 3 workshop classes through the whole certificate program. And the first one I really liked. I met a lot of great people doing it. All of this was online too. It was all over Zoom, which kind of sucks for the a little bit for the networking. There's a lot of people in LA. I don't live in LA. I live outside of LA. Have I been networking? I've been trying to network a little bit more. I'll be honest. I've been dealing with a little bit of kind of not heavy depression or anything like that, but I've been getting a little down on myself because of the things that I feel I should have been doing for years that I didn't do, which networking is one of them. I have met people through the directing certificate that I have worked on projects with already. I did sound for a couple of short films. There are people that I've met that I will keep their contact information, and when I have stuff that I want to work on, I'll reach out to them to see if they're available. It's been better networking than not going to school. But in this program, it's online, so there's just a bit of lacking the like the, you know, when you show up to class and like the teacher's not there yet, you talk to other students and stuff like that, and you kind of get to know them a little bit better. That doesn't happen over Zoom because the Zoom meeting starts when the teacher starts it, basically. So there's like little moments that you don't get to interact with your classmates, and that kind of sucks. But I will say I have learned a lot of things that I didn't before. One thing that I'm a little irritated with, and this is just a personal thing because of my personal experiences working with video, is that know when you go into a program like this, the field is very much, you're making a movie in Hollywood. Like, this is what this is for. Well, I mean, maybe don't fixate on the butt so much. Eyes up here, Commander Chris. The one thing that I am a little irritated with, and it's no real fault to like the instructors or anything, it's that the path that they're trying to take you down is, this is how you make a film. And obviously I'm taking the certificate program for that, but I don't see video production as just that one thing anymore. And maybe if I had done this when I was a little bit younger, I would be more of a go-getter, I guess, about like, well, I'm gonna just intern for a bunch of people and I'm gonna work for like as little money as I can possibly live off of. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm in my late 30s. I will be 39 this year, and there's just there's a little bit of how am I trying to say, stuff I should have done when I was a little younger. Not that I'm like they changed writing to journalism while I was there. Really, that's interesting. That it's very specific. I don't know. I feel like journalism is a good form of like figuring out writing and who, what, when, where, and why, and all that stuff. But I do think that writing these days should be a little bit more in the same kind of way that, you know, I'm describing filmmaking. It's a lot broader than that. Like, if you're a writer, you're not necessarily like gonna just write a novel, and you're not just gonna be a journalist. There's like blog posts. There's all kinds of ways to make money writing. Excuse me. And there's also a lot more opportunities as a director, I feel, than just making films in Hollywood that get released in theaters. Like, literally every company these days needs video production. If you're a business and you're not tackling visual media at all, you're probably not doing very well as a business, unless you're just a government contract, something like that. I wanted to do scripts, but they took it away. That sucks. You know what? That's a really good thing to do. I did take a writing class in this certificate program. This program is, since it's through the UCLA extension, everything is on the quarter system, so everything's done in 11 weeks. Each class is done in like 11 weeks, so there's not a lot of time for some of these courses. The writing one, oh my god, I could have done more. I could have done a whole year with just that. I'm not a very strong writer, and I struggled a lot in this class. I got everything accomplished. I did pretty well in the class overall. But like, there was so much nitpicking on script structure. And, the more and more I listened to her and other people in the class that were, cause there are people that, are script writers or script readers. That's a job, it's usually one of those underpaid jobs where the producers don't usually read scripts until it gets through like a whole handful of people first. And my understanding is, if there are more than 3 errors, be it grammatical or formatting, they'll just toss your script. They won't even finish reading it. And that, I'm sure that happens a lot more than we hear about. So I do think if you want to do script writing, really practice script writing. The formatting is super important. And it was kind of frustrating too, because our teacher gave us examples. She'd give us these scripts to look at, and then she would say, okay, well, here's an example of a script, and then say, okay, I need you to script something, and then we would all use that as an example. And she was like, the script is all wrong, your formatting's wrong. It's like, I just copied what you gave me. And she was like, oh no, this is a production script where there's other stuff in there, like you need to have like the first draft script. And I'm like, you didn't give us an example of that at all. I just am working on what you gave me. And then I think there was a bit of frustration on her part, because she is a part of I forget what organization she was with, but she's like a big head honcho in one of the like writers guilds or something like that, and so she reads this stuff constantly. So I'm sure like we're all pretty bad writers, I guess, and I'm sure she's just like tired of reading just garbage all the time. And so she would always, it felt like a cop out at times, but she'd always just say like, go read scripts. And we're like, okay. So, reading scripts, is important. Chris, if you're trying to do scripts, I really practice that formatting. I got a lot of shit for that from my teacher. But let's see. What else is there? How did I get here? Talking about school stuff. But let's see. Duel of the Fates. Oh yeah, I didn't finish reading Duel of the Fates comic. I'll be honest, not only have I been trying to battle my own anxieties and things like that, I've been a little busy this last week as well. I've mentioned before I'm gonna be directing a music video for somebody. I still can't really talk about that, but I am trying to pre-plan that. I'm trying to get all my other artwork stuff done, and here's a little dose of reality when it comes to being an artist. I'm not making any income right now. So I need to do that. That's why I push the website constantly. And so not only am I doing that, but I'm also spending parts of my days looking and applying for various jobs around my area too. So I'm a little stressed out trying to figure that out. But, I've been in this position my whole life trying to figure these things out. Bro, I make $15 a week. That is... this is bullshit. I don't want to get into like the state of our economy and like political stuff at all, but like things are not working. So here's one thing I will talk about, because I don't feel bad about this. It is painful to look at job descriptions. I mean, I have applied for an array of jobs. When it comes to like marketing, for example. So as I was saying, I'm going to this program to learn how to be a director, but I don't think that Hollywood or making films is the only way to do it. I hate saying this, but I think corporate America has a lot of opportunities. The problem with that, and here's the big problem with that, this is a huge problem with that. I've applied for jobs where the requirements are, oh man, I wish I had that one up from yesterday. I don't remember what job it was. I have never laughed out loud at a job application or just a job post so hard. But it was like, we need a digital content creator. I think it was a digital content creator, and you had to know how social media worked. You had to have all these things. I see this constantly. If you're going to hire a video producer for something, they don't necessarily need to be like, let me back up a second. If you're a marketing department or a small business, it should be not the requirement for your video editor or camera person or director to be knowledgeable in multimedia social media campaigns, and being responsible for that. It is two different jobs. That's literally what a marketing person does. And then there's a production person, and small businesses do not understand that those are two different jobs. And they're constantly just looking for like an Instagram influencer who like edits and stuff. But like most of those influencers hire editors. A lot of them do. So it's not one position, and I constantly see this shit where it's like, we need a video editor that owns like $50,000 worth of camera gear and lighting and audio gear, and we're gonna need you to do that. You also have to have marketing experience. I made a silly like post about this like a couple months ago, and it was like, you need to have sales experience, like 10 years of sales experience, and they're like, just to run our Instagram, and it's like, what are you asking for here? You're asking for a person that like doesn't necessarily exist. Most people that go to school for marketing don't necessarily become really good cinematographers or video editors. There can be a crossover there, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but like, you're looking for unicorns when you're doing this stuff. Dude, I hate entry-level jobs that require like 6 years, bro. I'm trying to get... Exactly. And then it's like, people don't want to work. It's like, I've been trying to fucking work for like 3 years now, and you're not giving me the opportunity to. So what do I do instead? I live stream, and I make weird-ass fucking music and music videos for them. I can't get ahead without doing it, and so... That's why I'm over here doing my own thing. And Chris, I apologize that I was short through our communication about music. There's stuff that I think I can help you with. You become a React channel. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of hate reacting to stuff. I just wish it was not as difficult to like promote weed products. This is where I started to get into marketing. I've been doing art and music for like 20 years. I did marketing for a dispensary in here in California a couple of years ago, and I don't think I saw eye to eye with where the business was going, but I started to see how like marketing worked a little bit more. And man, watching this this dispensary that was trying to be an LA dispensary in a very much not LA community was really funny to watch. And I was constantly being told, like, we need to find influencers. I'm like, you're looking in the wrong direction here, because you're trying to find an influencer for a weed dispensary where you're trying to look like an Apple store. And, like, that just doesn't work here. Know your audience. I'm like a car salesman in real life, but instead of cars, I'm selling my ween. Again, some of these only pop up on on OBS, which is funny, but not YouTube. It's weird. It's weird. Man. So I could talk about some Cinemacon stuff, because that's the big thing that's going on. I'm glad you liked my thumbnail. I've been a little lacking creatively with thumbnails lately, I feel like. And so I feel like my lack of creativity comes out in like really weird ways. So it's like, let's just Photoshop my head on some like greased up muscle dude. Because I clearly... I don't know if you can tell, but this, where is it? This one. This is actually where the shirt ends. I don't know if you can tell because of this, but this is actually where the shirt ends and my arm begins. Anyways, sorry, going back, Chris, apologies for, being a little bit short, in our, back and forth in our, messaging. Let me put this out on the table here, and this is my own thing. I have been making music for about 20 years. Bro, put this puppies swimming in fluids. Oh boy. Well, you know what? If you make $15 an hour and you got all those fluids, maybe go down to the old sperm bank. Might make like $50 or something. What was I getting at? I have been playing music for a long time. I never really played in a lot of bands, and there's a limit to the style of music that I've played and feel comfortable with. You gave me 2 examples of things you were looking for. One of them I feel like I'm more confident in being able to do, and the other one was something jazzy. I never really played a lot of jazz music. I like jazz, but I'm influenced by it. A lot of the music I listen to is influenced by a lot of jazz. I don't know that I'm the most I guess it's just something I've never really like gone out of my way to do, is just make a straight jazz track. I would be happy to give it a shot though. So anyways, again, my apologies, Chris. Just trying to live over here. But I watched your I think I mentioned this last week. I watched your it was a 25-minute film that you did, the stop motion, was that Knights of the Old Republic, I think. I was really impressed, actually. I first of all, I like that anybody can I do 80s metal. I can do some 80s metal. I'm not the biggest like guitar shredder. I've had my moments. I haven't practiced a lot of like shred guitar in a while. But I'd feel a little bit more comfortable trying that than like straight up like a jazz track. Although I was thinking about this too. When it's put like, can you make jazz? I'm like, I don't know. Can I make jazz? And then I'm thinking, could I make the Cantina song? And I'm like, I could probably do that. I think here's the best idea, to get an idea of what I'm capable of and how it might fit in with what you're doing. I have some stuff. We'll go through this channel. There's music videos. I'm sure you've seen some of them. I think you've commented on some of them. And then on Spotify, there's also Wild Dinosaur. But there's another project that I do with my buddy Pat on Fridays. Who's on Fridays? This other project called New Pants, NUPANTZ, and that project is kind of over for us. We're gonna evolve it into something else eventually, but that's a lot of like happier sounding synthy stuff that we've done. Pat has a huge collection of synthesizers. I have a couple of synthesizers. We like to do some weird stuff with them every once in a while, which is why I think the one example you gave me, was it Ratchet and Clank? I think it seems a little bit more along the lines of stuff that we've kind of done a little bit. So check out some of that stuff and think if any of that seems like something you could use. Yeah, I'd love to work on some stuff with you. Sorry, I'm only stopping and sounding frustrated, not because of the project, but because I needed to really get some time, or I need some management ultimately, because I've got a ton of things I need to be working on. Well, there is one thing that I'm going to be doing for somebody else pretty soon. I'm going to be directing something for somebody, and really just trying to figure out when's the best time to do some of this stuff. Let's keep talking about this. I don't know what projects you have going on or in what stages of projects you have going on. Again, I was impressed by the work that you put in. It's cool that I'm just mad my comment stopped you from praising my... Oh, well, here we go. Yeah, I was impressed with the work that went into that. You know, it takes work. My the description that I have on Instagram in my profile says it takes a lot of hard. It still takes hard work to make something shitty. And I'm not saying your video is shitty. I forgive me. I'm not trying to say anything comes out, but to come out that way. I didn't mean it to sound like it's bad. But like, you have sets. You've made sets. You have it looks like hand painted figures. It looks like some of it might be like 3D printed stuff too, which I was like, oh, that's interesting. How some of these things worked. Like one thing I thought was funny that worked was instead of having like walking segments, you have your figures on like a stand and they just kind of do that thing. I thought that was really funny. I really like that actually. And it was making me think, like, did you print out a little stand? Like, did you 3D print that stand for any like figures you had? A lot of the questions I had were just like, are these like Star Wars Black Series figures, or are they like parts from various toys? Did you 3D print some of them? It looks like a mixture of all of it. And then there was some like custom paint jobs on some of it. Yeah, I really liked it. I really like the style that you're working with. and I'd love to be working on some projects like that too. It is not necessarily easy to make something something like that. So congratulations. Custom 3D prints and paints. Okay, cool. So it is a combo of a lot of stuff. Yeah, and I was surprised by the amount of people that you worked with on it too, because there was a credits and a credit section there, and looks like you had a fair amount of people doing voice work and stuff for you, which is cool. Yeah, man. Look, I make a lot of art, but I think I'm impressed by that because of it seems like you had a little bit of a team around you, even if it was you doing. I mean, I don't know the process that you went through. There we go. But yeah, I don't know. I was impressed by it. Did you see the new video? Oh, was that the tier list one? I did watch that. Yeah, I did watch the tier list one too. I don't think I downvoted it. I know you asked me if I was going to downvote it. I don't remember downvoting it. But anyways, I like what you're doing. I want you to keep doing it. If there's anything I can do to help, let's keep talking about it. Even if it's like maybe not necessarily like a score or anything like that. I've been really interested in doing Foley work too. It's cool you don't got to downvote it. Yeah, so I've been kind of wanting to do more like Foley stuff too, which if you're not familiar with the term Foley, it's like extra noises. So like when there's a person walking down a hallway, and I don't know if you remember seeing those like before a movie starts in the theaters back in the day. They used to do stuff like this a lot more, where they'd show like some behind the scenes stuff. And I remember watching a whole thing about Foley artists where it was like they've got this whole rack of shoes, and you got to match, like figure out what right shoe on the right floor and stuff like that. Or like if somebody gets punched, you know, like you punch like a cabbage head or something like that, and use the sound effects for like crunch, you know, when somebody gets. So I'm interested in doing a lot of different sound work like that. When I did, so I was talking earlier about the length of the classes that I'm taking. The shortest class that I've taken in my directing certificate, was the sound design class. It was only 6 weeks. It was about half the time length. Classes were a little bit longer, like an hour longer than they normally were. But I really got a handle on the different kinds of sound that's used in filmmaking. I mean, it's really important. Sound is so important. We watched examples of like good films with bad sound or bad films with good sound, and sound makes a huge difference. So, yeah, again, if you're looking for stuff like that, I would be really happy to help out, in some sort of way. So let's keep talking about that, about those things. So anyways, I'm going to do a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'll talk about Cinemacon, because there's some stuff going on, and there's stuff that might be actually happening as we speak. So I'll see you guys in just a minute. Alrighty, that was less than a minute. That was like 26 seconds, if I remember correctly. No, I think that was close to 30. No. That's a shorter one. That's a 15. I have a bunch of versions of commercials. And the 30 is not done for dumb reasons. I should just repost that 15 one then. All right, look. Cinemacon is happening. Started, was it this week? What was the first day? Yeah, it was the 24th. Yep, Monday. So that was 2 days ago. There's a bunch of stuff that's been coming out. Do you just stare at the camera when the commercial is going? Yes. I'll do it. I'll give you. Hold on 1 second. Where are we at? Timer. Nope. Stopwatch. Okay, you ready? This is what my commercial breaks look like. That's what I do. That's what I do for the whole commercial break. That was 28 seconds. So that was longer than that commercial. And I wasn't just staring straight for the whole time either. But yeah. This is shipping material. All right. So yeah, Cinemacon started. For people who might be watching later who don't know what Cinemacon is, it's a big convention where movie studios get to premiere some new stuff. Now, if you're like, well, isn't that what Comic-Con's for, or D24? This is for all of the studios, and it's it's actually for theater owners. So it's when the studios get to promote all of the stuff coming up this year to the movie theater owners. And it's another one of these opportunities for like trailers to come out and stuff like that. So I have a list here of stuff that came out over the last couple of days. There's stuff, the Universal panel, I think literally just ended like 3 minutes ago. I think something like that. I went to the movies in like 3 years and saw John Wick 4. Oh, yeah, you said you hadn't seen a lot of movies, or you hadn't gone to the movies very much. I hear John Wick 4 is really fun. I like the first three. I haven't seen the fourth one yet. But yeah, so this is the con for theater owners, and a lot of stuff gets released. This has been going on since Monday, so there's a couple of days already of things that have happened, and I think Sony Pictures was one of the first ones up. Let's see. So I have a list here. This is it's an interesting source, but so far I didn't find any other lists like this from any of the big trades. But this is Lifestyle Asia. That I'm citing this from, but this is all stuff that has happened. And again, like I said, there's stuff that's probably just happening or just came out today too, because this is still going till tomorrow. So Sony Pictures released a trailer for Across the Spider-Verse, or footage at least. Let's see. Set a year after the events of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the sequel is one of the most anticipated films of 2023. In 2018, we delivered the most creatively ambitious movie I've ever been a part of, said Sony Pictures Animation President Christine Belson, adding, "We are deeply proud of this sequel." According to the reports, its footage shows Miles Morales, his parents, and Gwen Stacy. Miles, who's been grounded for a reason not revealed, is visited by Gwen from a different universe. They talk about preventing the collapse of the dimensions and swing around webs through Brooklyn. It ends with Miles receiving encouragement from his mother to take on his world-saving mission. So there was some footage from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'm excited about that movie. I like the first one. I don't know. There's a little bit of me that's like not super. It's not that this project I'm not excited about. I'm just not like. I guess me personally, I'm kind of over the like. If you're marketing 6 months or more before your movie, I probably don't really give a shit until like the month your movie is gonna come out. I mean, of course, there's stuff I'm excited about. Hearing about Star Wars stuff a couple weeks ago, sure, but ultimately, I'm not really excited about it until I see anything. They made Namor Mexican in the villain. And the villain, and now 2099 Spider-Man, who's also Mexican, is the villain. They're super mean by this. They're all racist. Marvel's racist. They just hate Mexicans. Is really the whole thing. DC doesn't. That's why they're coming out with Blue Beetle. They got their Blue Beetle movie going out. I'm kidding. All right, so there's a lot of stuff to talk. I'm not going to talk in detail about a whole bunch of stuff. I just want to talk about stuff that has been coming out. There was a teaser trailer for Kraven the Hunter. I'm interested about this. I remember seeing some behind the scenes stuff a few months ago, or I guess it was like set photos or something like that of him on top of a truck or a van or something like that. A 2-minute teaser trailer of the film was showcased following Aaron Taylor Johnson's announcement. It reportedly shows Kraven brutally defeating mercenaries and poachers. Among other stars in the film are Russell Crowe as his father, and the infamous Spider-Man villain Rhino. I don't know who's playing Rhino. I did hear that the Rhino is not like Paul Giamatti's Rhino. It's not like a mech suit, but he actually like morphs into a rhino. Very interesting. There was a first look at Ridley Scott's next film, the Napoleon Bonaparte film. The footage reportedly shows Napoleon using his tact to outsmart the combined Austrian and Russian forces during the battle. He forces his enemies into frozen lakes and then destroys the lake with cannon fire, causing numerous casualties as the water is filled with blood. And yeah, Joaquin Phoenix plays Napoleon. Vanessa Kirby stars as Empress Josephine. And that is coming out in November. Yeah, it will release this Thanksgiving. So, interesting. I like historical epic films. They're pretty fun, even if they're not always great. I tend to like them. It's a good like Saturday or Sunday movie. Just watch it. What was that one? What movie is kind of fun for being really bad is Pompeii with Jon Snow. There was a first trailer for The Equalizer 3. I've never really watched any of those movies, so I'm not super excited about that. But that, yeah, let's see. 2-time Oscar winner Denzel Washington presented the first trailer for The Equalizer 3, in which he reprises the role of former government assassin Robert McCall. The film is described as the final chapter in the story, indicating that this could be the last with Washington as Robert. Gran Turismo, Orlando Bloom and David Things. Stranger Things star David Harbour presented a new trailer for Gran Turismo, the movie. The film is based on the life of Jan Mardenborough. Sorry, I don't know. A real-life Gran Turismo player who became a professional racer. It also stars Jalman Hunsu. His father. Harbour plays Jack Saltier, a retired race car driver. Okay, the film comes out in August. Looks, I honestly, I don't like racing games. Yes, that's how the Rhino movie, or the Rhino movie. That's how the Kraven movie should totally go. He should definitely be cutting off Rhino's horn and crush it into boner pills. That's that's Nolan-esque realism. Denzel looks like he wants to take the heaviest snaps in this film. Yeah, I mean, I'm not watching the trailer or anything right now, but the thumbnail for it, like he looks, yeah, exactly. He looks like he wants to take. He's holding a knife and he looks like he's like about to pass out. Insidious, the Red Door extended trailer happened. I don't really care. I'm not a big horror fan. I would love to make a horror film sometime, but I just don't like. I don't hate horror films. I just don't reach for them. I would rather watch a horror film than I think majority of like mob movies, because I'm not a real. Again, I am the type of person that likes escapism. So like crime movies and stuff, I'm like, we're living through that. We lived through that always. I don't want to watch a movie about a trial or, stuff like that so much. Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel footage shown. I didn't really read it on this too much. Finn Wolfhard, Carrie Coon, Paul Rudd, and McKenna Grace were seen in footage from the sequel of Ghostbusters Afterlife, about which not much is known. Yeah, there's not a lot here. There's also a little bit about Bad Boys 4, which is coming out, which is really just going to be Will Smith slapping the shit out of people, which is the movie we all wanted to see. Let's see. I wish horror films would put more of the horror in films. Ghost Biddies. You ever watched the show Ghosts, Chris? It's there's a BBC version and there's an American version. I like both versions. I think the BBC version is superior, but both versions are good. That had no relevance other than you just putting in Ghost Biddies. Here, let me tell you about the concept first, because you might like it. I really liked the concept when I heard about it, and anyways, so that's right, you don't watch anything. So the concept is there's this young husband and wife couple, and the wife has like a distant relative who owned this big mansion, and they died, and it was like a distant relative of hers or something, and there was no other next of kin, so she inherits this mansion. So her and her husband move in, and they're going to turn it into a B&B. And in like the first episode, the wife gets in the BBC version, she falls out a window. In the American version, she falls downstairs. But she gets put in the hospital, and when she comes out of the hospital, she can see the ghosts that live. She can see dead people. And it's actually really funny. It's a really funny show. And so she comes back to her house, and there's a whole bunch of different ghosts that live at the house. Like in the basement, there's all these like people that died from the plague, like in the Middle Ages, that live there. And then each version has different ghosts because of, like the BBC version has like, there's a British war commander from, there's a Viking, well, let's see. Is there a Viking and her hubby is Indian? There is a Viking. There is an Indian. In the American version, there's a Viking. There's an Indian. There is a hippie. And then there's some of the same kinds of characters. Your parents watch it. It's pretty funny. The CBS version has the lead actress is the girl from I Zombie. Yeah. It's pretty funny. I think the American one takes a little bit of getting used to. The BBC version I think is superior. But I watch both. The American version is on Paramount Plus, and the BBC version is on HBO. Although there's a season 4 for the BBC one, and it's not out on HBO yet. I've been waiting for that for a while. But anyway, sorry. Back to the Cinemacon thing, because there's still a lot of stuff to talk about. Warner Brothers was up next, and then they put out the trailer for The Flash. I think a lot of us have seen it. Man, this movie looks good. This movie looks real good. And then they did do, after the Warner Brothers panel, they did show the movie to people. So there are already reactions. There's embargoes, but you can find social media reactions to the movie, and I mean everything I heard going into the movie from the last couple months was people saying this might be one of the greatest superhero movies of all time. I'd seen two reactions, John Campea and Christian Harloff, and both of them really liked the movie. I do think they did both undercut this might not be the greatest superhero movie, but this is definitely going to be DC's best movie so far, which I'm excited about. I mean, there's issues. Ezra Miller as a person, we've got there needs to be a recast, just straight up. I mean, they need to recast them after this movie. But the trailer looks phenomenal. Trailer looks really good. I'm behind it. There was a new trailer shown of from Blue Beetle, and it was basically the same thing. Time to sail the great seas and take the film through piracy. I'm not saying no. There's a new Blue Beetle trailer. It was the same trailer, except for they just showed a little bit more of the villain. So we'll skip over that. I guess there was some extended look at Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. From what I hear, there's only a couple of shots of Mara in there. She doesn't talk at all. I think we're gonna be done with Mara. But I'm hearing some cool things about Patrick Wilson. I like Patrick Wilson as an actor. He played Orm, and he's gonna be a big part of the second movie, and so people were excited about that. And then Dune Part 2 first trailer. Dune Part 2 first trailer was released. Look, I think the first Denis Villeneuve Dune movie looks beautiful, sounds amazing. That movie is boring as fuck. I'm sorry. That movie is super boring. I'll probably watch the movie again one more time. I'm not that crazy about the whole Dune franchise, but I'm interested to see what this film's gonna be like. I'll definitely watch it. I'll have to see some trailers, I think, to decide if I'll go see this in theaters or not. Hottest movie take, that it's boring. I mean, it kind of is boring. The first movie has so little things happening that I watched it one time, and then I tried watching it again, and it just put me to sleep. I don't know. I like the idea of the world and everything. I just didn't. I don't know. There was a lot of narrative stuff that just didn't move quick enough for me, for my sensibilities. I think it just felt really boring. Like I'll probably give it another shot before Dune 2 comes out. But yeah, so I don't know when we're gonna get the trailer. I think it was only viewed at Cinemacon, and I don't remember when that movie comes out. I think it's supposed to be also in November, I think. Yeah, November 3rd. It's slated for November 3rd. I'm surprised they didn't release the trailer, actually. And then they showed a trailer for the Wonka movie starring Timothée Chalamet, which, again, I don't have too much to say about that. I'm just curious to see what this movie is going to be about. And apparently Hugh Grant's an Oompa Loompa, so there's that. Let's see if this says anything. Chalamet was once again on the toast of the event. Okay, well, the trailer of Wonka was shown. The first trailer of Wonka was shown at the event. He said that the musical prequel is a Willy that's full of joy and optimism. I'm going to also need Flash Gordon too, by the way, but I didn't say it. Timothée Chalamet said this. A Willy that's full of joy and optimism and hope to become the greatest chocolatier of all time. Okay. I think I know a few other joyful willies. Hugh Grant is seen as an Oompa Loompa in a jar in the trailer. Chalamet said that working with Grant is a dream come true. He added that the Oompa Loompa character was a trip. The story follows young Willie before he opens the elusive chocolate factory. Among the other actors in the film are Olivia Colman, Michael Key, Sally Hawkins, Matt Lucas, Rowan Atkinson, Natasha Rothwell, and Rufus Jones, and Simon Farnaby. Ooh, I like Simon Farnaby. He's not a very well known name. I know him from The Mighty Boosh. And actually, speaking of the show Ghosts, Simon Farnaby is one of the ghosts in the BBC version. All of the ghosts in the BBC version are writers for the show, and so they retain like producer rights on the American version. But oh yeah, both the BBC version and the American version have a couple of the same kinds of ghosts. And one of them is this politician that died. In the BBC one, he died in the 80s, and in the American version, he died in 2000. And they're like politicians. Oh, well, sorry. American one, he's not a politician. He's like a frat bro turned Lehman Brothers, business dude. And both of these characters die during like sex things, and they both die with no pants on. So they're like suit jacket and tie and everything, but no pants. It's great. Simon Farnaby plays that BBC version of that ghost. Let's see. I have no clue who any of these people are. That's fine, just keep watching the show. You don't watch anything but Wild Dinosaur, so let me help you keep up with water cooler talk at your $15 a week job. So yeah, Wonka will hit theaters December 15th. Okay. Barbie might be one of my most anticipated movies this year. And there was some new footage revealed. Let's see. Barbie, Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling were the talk of social media for their hot pink outfits. Robbie wore a Prada. I don't care. Gosling said that he was not sure about playing Ken until one day I was bleaching my hair and shaving my legs, and it all came on like a fever. Yeah, so this is an extended trailer that hasn't been released yet, but there was one that came out. It was a week or two ago. It's really good. Looks great. Looks real great. Let's see. The next one is The Color Purple. Gets its first trailer. Let's see. It's a celebration of sisterhood bill that is not your mama's Color Purple. She added, Oprah Winfrey, who executive produced this, she added that it can only be an experience on the big screen. Okay, cool. Trying to make money here. Magical realism and wholesome family goodness. That comes out December 25th. The Nun 2 had a first trailer, and then there was a big news. It was confirmed by the studio. And this has been rumored for a really long time, like decades at this point. One of the biggest news at Cinemacon 2023 was Warner Brothers' official confirmation that a sequel to Tim Burton's acclaimed 1988 film Beetlejuice is in development. Reports say that there was a logo for Beetlejuice 2 that was revealed, but no other details were shared. But the announcement ended all rumors around the development of the sequel. That's all they had for that. So that was stuff that had come out yesterday. And then today there was a Disney panel this morning. It was a Disney, or it might not have been this morning. It was a Disney 20th Century Studios thing. I'm looking through real quick to see what they announced, and it doesn't really seem like there was a lot to the Disney one. And I think partly because, they do D23 and, their own events that they'll probably do more at. I guess there's some new Indiana Jones clips that premiered, and Gareth Edwards gets a title change and a release date for his next film, True Love, for 20th Century Studios. And then Pixar's Elemental fires up 20 minutes of footage, apparently. This is, I'm just looking at Deadline headlines. So that was, I think, all there was. That I have news on. There was a Universal one that ended just about a half hour ago, so I don't know if there's any new news from that yet. And then tomorrow there's going to be a little bit of more. There's Paramount and Lionsgate, I think, round out tomorrow. So that was that's a lot of the stuff that's been coming out of Cinemacon. Let's see, real quick. I have Cinemacon schedule up. Let me look to see what the remaining. Yeah, so from 4 to 6:15 today was the Universal Focus Features presentation. And then tomorrow, the big one is, again, it's Paramount Pictures and Lionsgate. Yeah, Lionsgate. I think Lionsgate might only have the Joyride movie. It's an advanced screening of Joyride from Lionsgate. Yeah, and I think that's it. So now Lionsgate's still around. Disney needs to stop messing around and give the fans what they want. That's right, Harrison Tuck. Well, we didn't get that with Harrison Ford, but there is a Sean Connery movie that probably will fill that void. Is that Zardoz? It's the one where he's basically wearing a red banana hammock. It's a weird sci-fi movie from the 70s. I think it's called Zardoz. Anyway, so yeah, that's it for Cinemacon talk today. That's all I got. That's all I got, man. I'm just looking at the thumbnail. The thumbnail I made was so dumb. I hate to toot my own horn here, but some of these weird thumbnails I make, man, I love it. Jabronis of Cinemacon. And then the title of the episode, Cinemacons for Lovers. Is it? Is it though? I mean, if you're not getting down at Cinemacon, what's the point? All babies are conceived at Cinemacon. Just saying. It's those first look deals that people get at, like Harrison Ford's nuts. Harrison Ford's nuts. I'm all riled up. I need to. Let's go to my hotel room for about 45 minutes. Anyways, okay, I think it's gonna do it for me. My girlfriend tried to make me watch a movie, and I had to swag her. Oh boy. Let's be nice. Let's be nice to our significant others if they, in fact, are real. My girlfriend does not exist. Yeah. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me, I think, today. What else? I think Pat's gonna be back on Friday. Harrison's weird old man run is why I watch his films. I thought you said you didn't watch films. No, he does have a funny run. Anyways, damn. 40 chested me. Gotcha. Oh, man. I can't wait to hear what Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson have to say on their shows tonight about Cinemacon. There's a lot of great things. Man, I can't wait to watch. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, well, hey, Chris, CNN and Fox might have positions open. We should both get jobs as journalists for these rival companies and start beef with each other. I don't care. Do you want to be Fox News or do you want to be CNN? I don't care. I was playing checkers. This motherfucker was playing chess. Yes. Flip a coin. All right. I don't have any coins near me. I'll do I don't care. I mean, I've worked for Fox before. It's one of the stations I worked at. Winner gets to die. Winner gets to incite a riot at the Capitol. Oh boy. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching. Chris, let's keep in contact about working on projects. I think I can help you with some stuff, and I will do my best to be in more communication over some of these things. Before I go, don't forget to check out wilddinosaur.com and buy some merch there. Homeboy's got to replace his underwear. It's on its last thread. I'm wearing a G-string, and not because it was originally made as a G-string, but that's just all that's left. Is I had to use a G-string for my guitar to really tie the thing together. It's just an elastic band, if you want to picture that goes around the waist, and then a guitar string, a G-string that goes, Anyways, it's not funny anymore. I'll shut up. Yeah, check out Wild Dinosaur. You can make a belt out of that underwear? Yeah, probably. Or a headband. I have a really good headband I should pull out one of these days and rock it. Yeah, check out wilddinosaur.com. It's the best place to support the channel. There's going to be some updates coming soon, some new merch, some new designs, things like that. So stay up to date with that. A tube top. Yes, a tube top. Yeah, also check out Wild Dinosaur on Instagram. That's one of the other places to keep up with all of the stuff that I'm doing. And the last thing that I like to talk about is there's a link in the description to donate to Planned Parenthood. I think Planned Parenthood does some great things, and unfortunately, we live. If you live in America, you live in a place that healthcare is for some reason like not okay. Like people just don't want to help you out. Planned Parenthood does. Planned Parenthood has worked with me in the past. And they do things that other medical institutions in the United States don't necessarily have the power to do, or just don't for whatever reason. Anyways, consider donating to them. Check out wilddinosaur.com and go follow me on Instagram. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel already, go ahead and do that, because I do these shows at least twice a week. So yeah, there's that. What else? I think that's all I got. Yeah, I'll be back Friday. I don't know if Pat's coming. I think he said he was gonna maybe try to show up, but I will either buy merch or donate. Yeah, hey, look, make my choice. Buy a shirt, buy some merch. That directly helps me. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's all I got. I'll be back Friday. I'll see you then. Later.